Hello, I'm Mitchell Schechter, editor of the Schechter Report, and I'm here at Star Chef's International Conference 2011 in New York with Unified Brands culinary director Michael Williams.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Everything's great. Wonderful show.
Excellent. First of all, I'd like to ask you, Michael, why has your company come to Star Chefs this year?
Well, we've been here a few years, and what we have found from this show is that it is the place of innovation. This is where the new ideas come from. We flesh them out. We get the people that actually use them, and we ask them to help us make it better.
Excellent. And which sort of equipment has Unified Brands brought to this year's Star Chefs?
Well, we have this piece right here, which is a sous vide production table. We also have a fish production station, a meat production station, and also a liquid nitrogen ice cream table.
Can you show us some of the features of the sous vide station?
I will be glad to. What we have here on the top is a refrigerated surface, and with any time that you work with sous vide, you want to make sure to control the temperature very carefully. We use the same technology on our fish table and our meat table as well, because you can keep things at the proper temperature and extend the shelf life of the product as you go through the processing stage. Also, we have temperature sensitive baths that are precise temperature baths, and there's just circulator baths. We have one on this side that can be cold or hot, and we have this in cold mode today. And then we have this one on this side, which is hot. Okay? Now the way that we manage the temperature is we have heating elements below this unit, and we set this with the thermostat on the side.
I see.
And then we articulate the temperature on the top in centigrade, which is most of our records and most of the practicums done in centigrade. On this side, we just turn the temperature down to 0, and so the heating element doesn't come on, and it circulates the water. Now, if we were to turn this water, the circulator off, this water would start to freeze.
Yes.
And that's a wonderful thing to have in a production area because it's so difficult to get energy out. And that's what we do, is we try to keep energy from invading the workspace or get energy out, because that's what makes the molecules move, and that's what makes heat energy.
And keeps the equipment operating efficiently.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's the biggest part, is if we do it right and keep it right, then it stays. It's much more efficient to maintain than to try to pull up and down like some equipment does.
What are the other functions built into the sous vide station? Can you show us?
Sure, I'd be glad to. Let me demonstrate, okay?
Okay.
Here are some of the features that really make this an operational piece for an end user. And we actually worked with Neil Snoren and David Arnold when they were with the French Culinary Institute.
Yes.
And both of them are very, very expressive minds, and we really did a lot of work with them. And what I did was I took the components that we were doing with other pieces of equipment that we build, and we incorporated here. We have the vacuum machine. This way they can work at the table. They have the vacuum machine at hand. They can open it up, place the product in there, and vacuum. I'll give you an example of that.
Excellent.
Okay.
Here we have some fresh sliced watermelon that the chef is going to place in an evaporator bag.
Yes, and what we're doing with this, you can put kaffir lime with it, you can put mint, you can put different types of liqueurs with it and infuse the flavors.
Excellent.
In the watermelon. Now what we're doing right here is this is cold, and so we don't have to worry about being fast or making mistakes, because we can just go in with the product right here. A critical part of sous vide cooking is to make sure that you keep it cold, because if you introduce any heat in the process, you really have to get that heat out before you vacuum it. You have to chill it very well before you vacuum it, because there are bacteria that grow in an anaerobic environment, and so that's what's really good about being able to keep it cold while you're doing it. Now what I'll do is I'll just open this up right here. I'll open this. We'll put the watermelon in the bag. We'll put it inside and this is a mini pack. This is who makes this sealer, and we've partnered with Mini Pack and Polyscience to develop this concept, and those guys have been really great to work with. Now I'm going to close the bag, I'll make sure the seal's right, and I'll just push go.
And how long would it typically be held cold after being sealed before being served?
You know, it depends on the marination time. What you're doing is you're opening the fibers up wide. This is a cellulose structure, you know, a fruit or vegetable would be cellulose structure. With the meat, you'd have tendons, or you'd have grains and tendons in the meat. There you go. And that would open it wide during the vacuum process, pull the marinade or pull the flavor in, and then when the vacuum hits, it seals it up tight. And this is what you have right here. Now it takes the edge of the plastic off, which you would discard in a trash can. And now we've got the watermelon. Now Flavor Seal makes this bag. That's another one of our partners. So we use Flavor Seal, Polyscience, and Minivac, and Randell to make this system reality for so many operators in the market.
Excellent. Thank you for this demonstration.
Sure.
Can you show us a further example of Randell's FX technology as it pertains to food holding?
Yeah, I'll be glad to. On the bottom, we have one of our 4-in-1 units. That means it's a rapid chill, rapid thaw, freeze, or refrigerator. And it's all done by just changing the controls. Don't have multiple pieces of equipment. This is just multifunctional. We have this in the chill mode right now. And below you can see the seafood that we have in here. And this has been in here for several days. And the difference with holding this precisely and working on a chill surface is, depending on how quickly I turn this protein, I can keep it at my level of quality for a day or two longer, which means I'll be able to serve all the protein and not have to repurpose that for another type of.
So that helps control food costs, which are a big key element. And what is the range of holding temperatures that this draw allows?
It goes from -4 to 40 Fahrenheit. And so it has a pretty dynamic range of everywhere in the safety zone.
Here we seem to have a unique looking prep table and workstation combination. Would you please tell us a little bit about it and who it was created for?
Well, thank you. Yes, this is the liquid nitrogen ice cream table created for Chef Elizabeth Faulkner with Citizen Cake and Orson in San Francisco. She told us what her requirements were. We went and visited the site and designed a product that met her needs and helps her be more efficient in her kitchen.
Would you allow your associate to show us how it's done?
Yeah, I'd love to. This is Maya Erickson, and she's actually the pastry chef for Orson, one of Chef Elizabeth's restaurants. Chef Maya is adding the liquid nitrogen, which sets the crystals in the solution. She's doing a coconut ice cream right now. And as she adds that, she's not actually adding a lot at a time. She adds a small amount at a time in order to freeze the product and then allow the mixer to continue to move the emulsion around. Yeah. Now we've made some really interesting flavors. They made a chocolate gelato yesterday that was very nice. Today this will be a coconut ice cream, and then we'll do a sous vide marinated pineapple, I think Asian spice pineapple with it tonight for the reception. So it's a very nice setup for these folks, and a neat application for technology that we use every day.
It could probably be used very effectively in the front of the house.
It is. This is actually going to be what I'll do once we finish. 1, 2, 3. It is very much made for the public. You'll see the glass front and the side, because this is the side that's going to be open to the public, and this right side will go into a counter.
Understood.
Yeah, the back rail is refrigerated to about 50 degrees, and you have syrups, places for syrups, and places for other items that you have in toppings that you have in there. You'll notice that you have the spoon built in so that they're able to pull the topping out. And somebody says, an ice cream counter, what's about that? But it's extremely functional. It's safe for the customer.
Yeah.
It's safe for the employee. And it's all made to be highly functional in the space. Now, this will have a quartz top on it. After the show, we're going to make sure that we get the color right for the space and have all that taken care of. This is a small hot well for syrups like chocolate syrup, caramel.
All this multifunctionality built into a very compact piece of equipment.
Absolutely, it is. Here's something else that's really interesting, is that she's got enough space in the bottom for a lot of her refrigerator.
Under counter refrigeration.
It's all plugged to a 110 circuit.
Wow.
Isn't that neat?
That's wonderful, Michael.
Yeah.
I hope we can take a look at that watermelon that you recently sealed in the evacuator bag and take it out of the cold well of this sous vide production station.
Okay, yeah. Actually, this is not. This is one of the most fun things about this station for me. Is because I can hold things cold, and I can do it in a water circulator, and that totally covers the product. It's very efficient transferring energy out of the product. It's not making it cold. It's taking energy out. Okay. Now I grabbed it by the handle on the package here. I'm able to grab it like this. That's why I like them with handle bags. And then you'll notice that the color is really interesting in there.
It's intensified.
Oh my golly, it sure is. And the flavor is just great too. It's really taking that marinade in very well. So it's a real nice item. A lot of people will enjoy it tonight at the cocktail reception.
Okay. Now, one last question, Chef. What would you like people to know about Unified Brands and the products that we've been looking at today? What is the best information that people need to know about your company and your products?
Number one, this is all made in America, made in the USA. And by skilled craftsmen that take their time. You can see the fit and finish on all this. The custom manufacturing is incredible, but our standard products are just as incredible. We make fantastic refrigeration, cooking, ventilation products under the Groen brand. We make under the a la carte brand. We make under the Cook Chill brand of Cap Cold. We have Randell, which is the products we saw today, and Avtech for ventilation. So we have a broad spectrum of products that fits most operators' needs.
And all designed for chef use and a la carte production.
Absolutely, very much so. We have the #1 pizza table that's used in most of the major chains in the U.S. And that product has come from years of development, working with the end user to answer their needs. It's not about us. It's about the end user. That's what this Congress is about too. We have so many bright, emerging people that are here, and the ideas are fantastic.
Thank you very, very much, Chef Michael Williams. We appreciate your time and your information.
Well, thank you.